Rev, I want to ask you what you heard when Donald Trump talked about what he expected from Amy Coney Barrett. He made clear from the podium of the White House Rose Garden with the Attorney General and many of the senators that Claire just mentioned that he expects a justice who will uphold our heritage. We all know what that means, and our Second Amendment rights. How do you think that Donald Trump's branding of Amy Coney Barrett as someone who will uphold our heritage and our Second Amendment rights impacts the confirmation process?
I took very serious note of him saying our heritage. What is he talking about there? And a clear signal from this president of him seeing the heritage of this country a lot different than many of us that see the heritage of this country quite differently. I also thought it was very ironic that he asked for a dignified hearing when they would not give dignified hearings to Justice Garland, who was nominated by President Obama 10 months before an election. And this justice is being nominated, Justice Barrett, while an election is going on. Let's not forget people are already early voting in Virginia and Minnesota. We're not 40 some odd days from the election. The election is going on as we speak. The thing also that was interesting to me, Nicole, when you talk about what the president said, it is almost offensive for him to brag about her adopting children from Haiti, which is certainly honorable. He called Haiti an S-hole country. So he's sitting there with the height of hypocrisy in terms of his own rhetoric in the past, and he's sitting up there with the height of hypocrisy in the whole procedure. Usually, Supreme Court nominees go and visit senators in their office as they campaign for confirmation. If you're going to have an expedited hearing in 2 weeks, how does she even go to visit Democrats? I think what needs to happen is that the public needs to put pressure on those Republicans that are in close races, that they need to come out now and say that they will delay this past the election or they will en masse vote against them. The pressure point could be a lot of the public dealing with those candidates that are facing races right now, including Mitch McConnell, who's facing a race in Kentucky where we have the Breonna Taylor case that just happened. I think that now's the time for people, and many of us in the civil rights community is going to do that, to use this time to put pressure on those that have to hear what the public say, because they're facing elections, and some of those elections are already in the progress right now. I think that for this president, though, Mr. S-hole countries to stand up there and brag about something like this, and for him to stand there and talk about a dignified hearing that was never given Justice Garland, we need to, before we deal with, yes, I'm concerned about Roe versus Wade, I'm concerned about voting rights. When she says that Antonin Scalia was her mentor, I was sitting in the Supreme Court with John Lewis and Martin Luther King III when Scalia called the Voting Rights Act a racial entitlement. So there's a lot of reasons for us to be concerned, not to mention that was the least diverse audience I've ever seen an announcement like this made in my life. I looked around. I was glad her 2 kids did come out because I couldn't find too many other people of color in that audience.
It was an interesting look for a moment like this in this presidency and a decision so monumental.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.